Soulpreneurs, welcome back to my Oracle reading YouTube channel. I'm excited to have you here. There are some very interesting messages coming up for you about you needing to really discern whether or not the path that you've been on is the one you're going to continue with, because you have past lives that are coming to the surface right now around doing things in a different way than what you're accustomed to. You have gifts, you have talents that are being unlocked. I'm seeing them in your solar plexus. They're very empowering. You're stepping into a whole new era of leadership, and this whole new era of leadership, soulpreneurs, is not looking like anything you've ever been through before. So if you're somebody that likes to bank on your past experiences to derive and extrapolate ideas about your future, forget about it. All right. This is not the time to do that, because that kind of thinking is going to keep you stuck in a way of doing business that is not truly attuned and aligned to who you're becoming. You guys got to remember, every day that goes by, there's access to more and more light that hits the planet, right? So every time more light is hitting the planet, we ourselves are getting hit with more insights and information and downloads that we need to integrate and adapt into our lives. And it's not an easy path per se, because it does bring up a lot of different ways that we have to look at how we're approaching relationships, how we're approaching business, how we're approaching our gifts and our talents and our services and our products in a way that is conducive to the highest good of all. Okay, so if something is boring to you, you don't have any passion left for it, it's just something that you've been doing, might not be good, it might not serve the highest good of all, because the people that you're serving are going to feel that frequency, right? When you're passionate and you're excited about something, you know that you just infuse all that positive energy into whatever it is you're putting out, and people just feel it and they want to have a taste of it, right? But if you've been doing it for a really long time and it's starting to lose its pizzazz, that means there's something going on inside you that you're undergoing. It's like a big current is being swept through. So let's get into some of the cards that came up for you here. I want to talk about what could be unfolding for you. Right now, I just feel like your emotions are really coming to the surface, because there's basically like a crossroads or an incongruence that I'm picking up on, where you're like, something is not feeling good anymore. It was feeling good. I was talking about it a month ago. I was bragging about it a week ago. It was something that, like, made me feel like it was part of my identity and it was part of my longevity. And then all of a sudden, you're meditating and you're contemplating and you realize something is out of sync. Something doesn't feel quite right anymore. And it made sense to you up until this moment. So it's not that you were lying or that you were trying to pump up something that wasn't genuine, but it's like, this past lives card came up, like something from your past life has been activated. There's been a lot of activity taking place, solar storms and things like that. And I really believe that those outside aspects are influencing how we are actually living our lives. And I do believe that our past lives exist within our DNA. And our DNA is starting to unlock more and more information as we evolve through this planet, but it unlocks certain pieces of information during certain cycles and phases. And right now, the cycle that you are in is unlocking something in your DNA from a past life, where you are becoming aware that there is something much more inside of you than what you believe about yourself. How you see yourself as being one way, you are much more expansive and much more widespread in terms of your multidimensionality and capabilities and strength than what you believe to be true. Okay, so it's going to feel really emotional for you, because you're going to be like having to let go of what it was that is no longer aligned for you anymore. And you're stepping into, well, it's funny actually, because this card came up too. What do you need to release? I really believe you need to release your outdated way of approaching your business. Okay, you will have seen this in your personal life first. I feel like your personal life will have shown you something that, maybe I was operating this way in this energy because I had this friend circle that I no longer have, or I used to be on this kind of a diet that was actually dimming my light, or I used to be very sedentary, and now I'm active, and all of a sudden, as I'm moving my body, all these new ideas are coming through. Or all of a sudden I moved to a new country, or I moved to a new home, or I started a family, and there's just all this new information that is lighting you up from the inside and making you switch out of a mold that you now need to release, okay? Because this is time for you to step into a new vision. This new vision requires that you have utmost discernment because you're about to face an opportunity, or you recently have faced an opportunity where someone maybe asked you or invited you to something that was out of the ordinary for you. It doesn't represent necessarily the path that you've been on, but it represents something new and potentially even a little bit uncomfortable, right? Like even the storm card is coming up. Like you might have felt like suddenly you're in the storm and you don't know what's happening. Things are out of your control. You have to start looking at things in the dark. You can't focus on what's real anymore. Maybe even like for a little while your money was affected, but now you actually have this magic stepping in. And this element of magic is telling me that you are actually activating something in your awareness. The awareness card is right here as well about who you are and what you can do. It's like, okay, say you, for example, I don't know if you guys like to play games or something, but say you always play this game and like you have a certain status, like this is how good you are at this game, right? And so you're obsessed with this game. You always want to play this game with your friends because you know you're always going to win, and everybody's always amazed at how good you are. But it's kind of become, this game has become a part of your identity. You're like, yeah, I rock at that game, this is what I do, this is who I am. But God's telling you like, okay, just let go of that game. And you're like, but what, I'm so good at that game, like why would I let it go? I derived a whole like egoic boost from being good at this game. Now you're telling me that I need to discern and I need to choose a new vision, a new game to play. But like that's not fair because I don't actually have the tools to play other games. I only have the tools to play this game. Wrong. You do have the tools to play the new game. Okay. You do have this inner knowing that there is something that is deep inside you that is unfolding. And you're going to be like, damn, I actually realized that I know how to play 5 games really, really well. And I was so obsessed with this one game and playing this one game really well that all of a sudden, now that I'm being proposed to do all these other different things, and I'm realizing I'm actually really good at it. I didn't realize I would be so good. I didn't realize I had access to this magic. I didn't realize that because I was so focused on doing things this one way and showing off my skills in this one aspect, that now suddenly I actually have realized that I've cornered myself in that one space, and now it's time for me to expand my horizons. Okay. So you really need to do a lot of meditating and contemplating right now. Pay attention to what kind of offers are coming your way. So stuff that you normally would dismiss. Now you got to discern. Okay, maybe I used to dismiss that before, but something about it is calling me. Investigate, okay? Pay attention to your dreams. Maybe there's somebody that wants to work with you or collaborate with you, or there's some kind of topic that has become recently fascinating for you. You got to step into that world. You got to immerse yourself in what is interesting to you, because what is interesting to you is going to really show you that you know already a lot about it, okay? It's not something that you learned in this lifetime, though. It's something that you learned in other lifetimes, and it's waking up within you. And the last card that came through here was to focus on the light. This card, if you actually read the guidebook, talks about how if you run a business, you focus on the light, focus on bringing light through your vessel, light through your company, light through your business. That's when your success is going to come through, because this is like sudden success becomes available to you. I really believe that at some point when you make the shift and you choose a different path than what you're accustomed to, suddenly you're going to become successful, and you're going to be like, wow, I waited years to become successful in this other way. But now all of a sudden I'm becoming successful in this new way, and I haven't even put that much time or energy into it. But you have, just not in this lifetime. So that's why it's coming around. Plus, the last cycle that you just went through, it served the purpose to get you into alignment to unlock this next cycle. So like, for example, if we're going back to this game analogy, it's like the metaphor of a game. It's like you learned how to play games in general. You understood the concept of a game, what it looks like to, have a team that you are, or an opponent that you're working with or against. There's just something about the knowledge that you gain from being in the cycle that you're in that you're now taking with you and applying. So it wasn't for nothing. Actually, everything that you have done to this date has served a divine purpose. But now as you're stepping into this new way of doing business, you're going to realize things are going to get so much easier for you. And the people that you once worked with are going to look at you and be like, where did that come from? Where did that come from? Where did that come from? I didn't know you could do that. Well, I never knew you had the ability to go in this way and show me this, and people are amazed. Like, I just get this feeling that the people that have been in your circle, that are genuine and actually like protect you and support you in what you do, they're going to be looking at you like, hot damn, like, where did you come from? I didn't even know this was something you could do. And you're like, yeah, it's just something that innately has come to me, right? And it's going to be how you make your money moving forward. In a lot of ways, you're going to have to go in a deep dive, okay? You're going to have to explore the depths of you. If this is something that you are called to do, if this is something you want to do with me, I've been an intuitive business coach for over 13 years now, and I support other light workers, other healers, but also other coaches and other product providers, service providers on how to actually step into your power when it comes to your business. Like, for example, I just had a client right now, and she's phenomenal. She's like this expert in her field, and she always had a hard time marketing to women for some reason. And we had to look at why she wasn't getting sales from women. And what we found was that she actually had this sob story about women are underprivileged. And so I have to like bend over backwards in my business to make sure I support them without charging the amount that I actually normally need to charge for my fees and for my team to be able to execute the work. And so we did this whole energy clearing session where we realized that actually she was actually downplaying and projecting onto women that they were underprivileged. And for that reason, she was letting them walk all over her boundaries, and she was having a really hard time selling in a confident way. So when we cleared that, all of a sudden she felt like there was all these women in her energy that were ready to work with her, right? Without her having to overdo things, overgive, undercharge, all that stuff. And it was, it was all within one session that we did that. So if you guys are interested in working with me, make sure you reach out to me. My email is the Selena Moon Project at gmail.com. I've helped many businesses become successful in more divinely oriented ways versus greed, power, manipulation approaches. And I've also helped a lot of founders discover their purpose, which has naturally infused into the way that they do business. So if that's something that interests you, reach out. If you want to be part of a community of other entrepreneurs who are on the spiritual path, make sure you check out my community, soulpreneurinstitute.com. We're in school. We're doing weekly videos. There's over 200 recordings in there for you to access insights and information on how to develop a business in accordance with your divine rhythm and that which your soul is calling forth without losing the grounding in the sense of we actually are here to create wealth as well, and our wealth is part of our spiritual wealth as well. So that is something you can step into if you're interested in learning more about building wealth through a more divine aspect, something that feels more holistic to you, high vibrational. Check out wealthcodeactivations.com. Get in there, get some of those codes, get cozy with those codes, and watch your life transform completely. All right, sending you guys so much love. I'm excited to hear how things go for you. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.